In the film, In a Fair to Remember, there's a line that says, "Winter must be full for those with no warm memories." I believe this is very true because as we all did a speech on Thursday about how memories are some of the greatest things that we have, it's true. Everybody has great memories that you just look back on and think, wow, that was one of the greatest times I've ever had. And we have those with friends, with family, and even just memories that we make on our own. And my friends make fun of me all the time because I'm the one, like the mom in the group, who takes pictures of everything and posts where we are, what we're doing. And because Facebook nowadays and even other apps have the whole memories from 4, 5, 6 years ago. And so no matter where we are or what we're doing, I always make sure we get a picture and we save it because you never know when you're not going to have those things forever. Memories fade with Alzheimer's and everything. Not that we're going to get that anytime soon, but memories fade, but the pictures don't. And so just with family, going on special vacations or just anniversaries and everything with people, memories are some of the greatest things that we hold on to. And so those happen at Disneyland or family events, baseball games. Those are pretty much my life, just those 3 things right there. And I'm a sucker for family events. I go out with my family all the time, and I'm a nerd who likes to hang out with my family more than I do my friends. And so just things like that, those are the things that keep you warm in the winter when things might be looking bad, and it doesn't always have to be the winter. Just things go wrong sometimes, and you think of happy events, and you'll get through the whole, the bad times in your life if you just look back and think, oh, well, it hasn't always been this bad, and it's not always going to be this bad. And so that's what I took from that quote. But I know I'm nowhere near the time limit, but thanks, guys.
I wanted to be able to tell every two I have no idea where to go with this, right? It's like one comment, then that's that, and then
All right, Heather, starting with the quote's a little bit awkward, but I thought you had a good thesis statement. I thought there was a nice callback to the practice that we had the other day, and so that should pull us in a little bit. There's not really a structure that you set up, which is one of the reasons why you get stuck later on. I thought you had an okay personal example, a perspective on that sort of thing. You're going to think of more examples later on, and you could probably think of a story or two to talk about some of those remember pictures, for instance, that show up on Facebook or Instagram or those kinds of things from 4 years ago, 6 years ago. And you're going to think of some of those experiences that you had with the family at the baseball game, and you're going to go, oh, why didn't I tell that story about getting, 3 hot dogs for the price of 1 by accident or something like that. That's the kind of, little detail that's going to creep in, and that would have been easy for me to talk about and have a little bit more engaging presentation. There's not really a structure. Like I said, you just have the one idea and that you're going with. From the beginning, you sound just like you are anxious and nervous. Your voice is quiet. If there's an example of how a voice can indicate anxiety, this would be it, because you sound like you don't really even want to talk to us. It's almost like, well, I guess I have to, so I'm going to do that. And you sound like you're kind of defensive just with your voice, and that's awkward. I think there's good tone in your voice. You are rushing a little bit, like you're in a hurry. You can slow down. You've got a few indicators where you're speaking. I did like the kind of counting off things. I think that that's not a bad idea. Your facial expressions, you look uncomfortable. You just look like you. Sometimes you have to fake it a little bit. You know, smile and engage people a little bit more. What's that?
I thought I was.
Yeah, you gotta fake it a little bit more. And your eye contact, it's kind of interesting because you do look up, and when you look up, that's when you look best. You know, you are engaging us a little bit. You need to do that more. That's the problem, is because we get a brief couple of seconds and then it's back down to this kind of withdrawn little figure that where you're thinking to yourself and talking to yourself. And then you look up and talk to us a little bit, and then you kind of, that's the kind of thing you got to be more consistent about. All right, the exit sounds a little bit like a cop-out, like, oh, I'm just done, and you know, I wish it had been longer. And I think you want to connect it more to the point that you were making and have something to say rather than just feel like you're going through the motions. All right, thank you.